What's up, everybody? So everyone's always saying the weapon banner is a trap on Genshin Impact. There are many reasons for this, but most of them have something to do with the fact that the Fates share a banner with the event characters, so if you're free to play, it's really hard to go ahead and invest Fates into the weapon banner when you have so many new cool characters that are coming out that you want to play. And another big reason is that you're not even guaranteed to get the weapon that you want. You know how you can guarantee that you'll win the 50-50 on a character by losing the 50-50 the first time, so like you never have to go above 180 pulls in a worst case scenario. But that doesn't apply to the weapon banner. You can get the 75% chance to get a rate up weapon every time, and it could just be the weapon you're not going for. So because of that, a lot of people are saying that the weapon banner is not worth rolling on, and I'm here to tell you that that is changing pretty soon. As always, it's always up to you if you want to pull on the weapon banner or not. Obviously, I can't tell you what to do, but I'm just going to state some facts about what's going on with the game and the banner, and we can decide from there whether or not it's worth pulling on the weapon banner. So if you weren't aware already, the character banners work differently from the weapon rate up banners. The most notable difference is definitely that the weapon banners have 2 weapons, whereas the character banners have 1 rate up character. On the rate up banner, in the worst case scenario, half the time you're going to go ahead and get the rate up character, whereas on the weapon banner, 3/4 of the time in a theoretical situation, you would get the rate up weapon. Now, because the weapon banner has 2 weapons, you're not very likely to get the weapon that you want all the time, even when you roll rate up. So because of that, miHoYo tried to remedy it by lowering the pity on the weapon banner. Additionally, the rate of getting 4 stars in general is up in this banner, but the rate of making them be a weapon instead of a character 4-star are also very high. Okay, but now looking at the weapon banners, we've had a history of some weapon banners where usually you'll see 1 weapon that you want and 1 weapon that you don't want. An example of this is when Ganyu was the rate up character and Amos Bow was one of the rate up weapons. All the streamers that I know that were trying to build Ganyu were going ahead and wailing on the weapon banner and talking about how not worth it is because they would pull a bunch of the other weapon instead of Amos Bow. And for that, I kind of understand because ultimately it's a big money sink for a thing that's not even guaranteed, but I think what's coming next makes a weapon banner a little bit better. The banner that miHoYo just announced features the Staff of Homa, Wolf's Gravestone, and new lithic weapons. Now, first things first, we've already seen Wolf's Gravestone in a weapon banner before, but this time the weapons accompanying it and their reason to pull for it are much greater. Consider the fact that the Wolf's Gravestone is one of the best, if not the best claymore in most instances in the game. The claymore is crazy, it's a really good weapon, you should definitely roll the weapon banner for that weapon. Okay, but let's say you hit the 75% chance and get a rate up weapon, and it's not the Wolf's Gravestone. In fact, in this situation, you would be getting the Staff of Homa. But wait, Staff of Homa is absolutely insane too. At level 90, Refinement 1, you're getting 66.2% crit damage and a base attack of 608. That is a ton. For those of you who have figured it out, Jade Cutter is insanely good on a ton of characters. It shares a similar effect to Staff of Homa, and so we know that the effect itself is really powerful. Increasing HP by 20% and then providing an attack bonus based on 0.8% of the wielder's max HP is very good. You're probably thinking that a lot of polearm users don't have very high HP, and that is true, with the exception of Zhongli. But considering this weapon has crit damage super high and its base attack goes over 600, in addition to that attack bonus, this weapon pulls a lot of weight. I would even go as far as to say that this weapon will be best in slot for multiple characters in the game, including ones we may see in the 3rd banner and beyond. Is it best for Xiao? Probably not. Does it work for Xiao? Absolutely it does. Will Zhongli ever get below 50% HP to proc the 2nd passive? Probably not unless you force him to, but if you do force him to, oh my god, the damage is going to be nuts. So in the worst case scenario of when you got a rate up not getting the Wolf's Gravestone like you wanted, you would still be getting an insanely good polearm right now. Both the Wolf's Gravestone and the Staff of Homa have so much value to their weapon and kit that I feel like you're actually missing out if you don't pull on this weapon banner. But we can look at some worst case scenarios too where maybe you don't get either of the rate up things. In an absolute worst case scenario, you miss the 75% chance. There's nothing we can really say or do about that other than the pity has been reduced so you have more opportunities on the weapon banner. But I think it's worth noting that in most cases, 5-star weapons are going to outdo 4-star weapons. There are obviously exceptions to this, like Crescent Pike for example, but I think in a lot of cases, getting any 5-star weapon is going to be hugely beneficial. A lot of people also don't realize how important 5-star weapons can be if you're trying to deal huge damage on any character in the game. In an ideal world, free-to-play will always be able to do every single bit of content. You can always build a character strong strong without a 5-star weapon, but seeing the difference that Amos bow makes for Ganyu in comparison to something like Blackcliff is actually nuts. And I know Amos has a passive that increases her damage even beyond that, but that's another reason to roll for 5 stars, right? 5 stars have crazy passive abilities a lot of the time to go with their stats. Now, the reason the weapon banner now is different is because both of the 5 stars that are rate up are worth pulling for. I would have made this argument for the Jade weapon banner, but even then I saw MiHoYo release this banner or the art for it, and I knew that this one was going to be better. Okay, but even outside of 5 stars, this banner is worth rolling on because you guys need to check out the lithic weapons. They're crazy. The lithic family of weapons all has to do with Liyue characters, but so many Liyue characters are regularly run in parties that I think these effects will actually become super used. For every Liyue character in your party, the character who equips this weapon gets a 7% attack increase and a 3% crit rate increase at Refinement 1. So with a full party of Liyue characters, you can get up to a 28% attack increase passively and a 12% crit rate increase passively, and this is on top of the attack percent stat for the main stat. As of releasing this video, officially we don't know what the refinement percent increase is, but even if the refinement increase was just 1%, this would still be insanely good. Because in theory, in that worst case scenario, you could be looking at a 44% attack increase and a 28% crit rate increase on top of the base stats. Now, I don't know if these will be in the standard banner, but Paimon on Twitter did say that they're coming in event wishes, so we can assume they're not going to be the standard banner at first, which means that you'll probably only be able to get them in event. We may be able to see them in the event character banners though, so do keep that in mind. But as I was saying about the event rate up banner value, we are seeing a ton more value in this weapon rate up banner than we have in past weapon rate up banners. There's a bunch of worst case outcomes that are still extremely valuable for the free-to-play player even, especially now that the game's had a bit of a lifespan and a lot of people, even free-to-play players, have had access to a lot of new characters. I know that I will for sure be pulling on this weapon banner. I have a 75% chance to get Wolf's Gravestone or Staff of Homa, and either one of those weapons I would be completely content with, and on the way there, having the chance at the lithic weapons is super good. I can't wait to see what kind of damage these things put out. They're going to be insane, and honestly, I think some of these lithic weapons might even outdo some 5-star weapons. But anyways, as we see weapons shift around banners, eventually we're going to keep seeing more and more banners where both the rate up weapons will be worth it. So it'll be worth rolling on this banner specifically so that way you can get one of the rate ups. Even if it's not the one you were highly desiring, you're still going to get a super strong weapon. Obviously, you still want to pick and choose the weapon banners that you roll on, but as better weapons are included in the game and as they change around which ones are featured, you may want to keep an eye on these. After all, stat sticks good, big numbers go burr. But anyways, that's my thoughts on the weapon banner. I think it's definitely worth pulling for this time around. Let me know what you guys think about the weapon banner down below in the comments, and of course we are still doing the giveaway. I'll be giving away 10 Welkin Moons, one per person who wins, and then another prize for another person of $50 Primogen package. If you want to enter that, make sure to like the video and go down into the comments and follow the pinned comment instructions. As always, have a good one, and thank you so much for watching. See ya.